Alright, what's going on everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some more NBA news to talk about with you guys. This time actually revolving around, it's currently being reported that the Detroit Pistons are officially interested in trying to trade for Lonzo Ball. And this is all being reported by Jason McIntyre, so I think this would actually be extremely interesting in my opinion. But there's just one huge issue that I have with this, and there's, other reports as well by the New Orleans Pelicans that Lonzo Ball may be used as a trading asset for New Orleans, and this is being reported by Jay Williams. Although that is being reported as well of the Pistons, being interested in Lonzo Ball, I just can't see a way where the New Orleans Pelicans actually come to the conclusion that trading Lonzo Ball is the right idea. Look, I think there is definitely some really nice assets that you could get from the Detroit Pistons, but Lonzo Ball had a really rough start to the year and obviously played pretty bad throughout the bubble. But other than that, at the end of the season, he was playing like an absolute champ. I mean, as soon as he got on the court with, Zion Williamson, he was averaging like more than 10 assists per game and was starting to look like a player that could actually average a triple-double pretty much every single game. And he also increased his three-point accuracy to about 38% or so at the end of the season. So he was playing literally out of his mind, and obviously started to play worse and worse as the bubble actually progressed. But again, those are just a couple of games. There could have been a certain issue that we don't know about. Again, he started to sort of get better and better when he played with Zion Williamson, and Zion Williamson getting potentially less minutes and less of a role really when it did come to how it was in the bubble. I think could have actually been a pretty big factor on why Lonzo Ball wasn't exactly potentially the greatest player that he possibly could have been. I honestly believe if he was playing like how he was at the end of the season, then I think the Pelicans could have actually progressed more in the bubble than what they actually did. So, again, I'm going to say before I get into what would be traded and all of that type of stuff, I don't think the Pelicans are going to trade Lonzo Ball. I don't really think it makes any sense at all. I think he's perfect for them to be playing that point guard position because obviously he's a great playmaker. He's a great defender who can guard shooting guard and small forward if really needed as well. There is just no point, in my opinion, of trading Lonzo Ball. But if they were to trade him to the Pistons, what could they actually potentially get back? Now, the Pistons obviously have one of the worst, or if not the worst, young core in the NBA. I mean, I feel really bad for Pistons fans. I know a lot of Pistons fans are even saying to themselves, how do we get out of this mess? I mean, they've got Luke Kennard, who's 24, who's probably their best young player, who was looking like he might be requesting a trade, and the Pistons wanted to trade him at deadline. You also got Christian Wood, who's 24 years of age, who's also, I'd probably say he's their best young player. He was averaging about 20 points per game when Andre Drummond was traded, but it was because he was kind of like the number one option straight away, really, once Drummond was traded. And he's also going to be a free agent, so who really even knows if they're going to be able to re-sign him? I would presume they would be able to, but other than that, you also got Sekou Doumbouya, who's only 19, turning 20. And then there is literally like nothing else. Like, I mean, it's very, very dry. And that's why I think I can definitely see the need for them to try and bring in a player like Lonzo Ball, who's just, a young player that could eventually develop into a triple-double monster. But I feel like to develop into that triple-double player, he needs to have players around him like, Zion Williamson, etc. So I don't necessarily know if his impact would be exactly the greatest on the Pistons whatsoever. Now, what would they actually trade to potentially get him? I think the player they would most likely trade is actually Derrick Rose, and a lot of people know this at this point, but Derrick Rose's value, even though he's had a great season, he's been hasn't had the most amount of injuries like he usually does, his value is still not exactly that great. I mean, he's going to be 32 years old in October, and what we've seen his value is, I believe it was going to be Derrick Rose for Alex Caruso in a second, I think, and I'm pretty sure the Lakers actually declined that trade. So if Derrick Rose is worth, Alex Caruso in a second, then you're definitely going to have to trade a lot more to get Lonzo Ball to the team. So, again, I think Derrick Rose should be at least rated higher, but his age and his injury history and just the fact that he can't necessarily play more than 30 minutes on the court most nights has definitely dropped his value quite a bit. Now, again, because we know now that his value is about Alex Caruso and a second round pick. What it would most likely be, potentially, is I would assume Derrick Rose, and maybe a first round pick. Now, they're not going to be giving up a first round pick really in the next couple years, because they're going to be on a very intense rebuild. So I definitely can't really see them giving up a first round pick. But if they really want Lonzo Ball and they think he could be the player that, you know, they potentially think he is, a lot of people know he has a lot of potential to be a very good triple-double player in the league, then I definitely think it's going to have to be a first round pick and, you know, potentially Derrick Rose. Now, again, what that first round pick would be, if I was them, I would be trying to go out and trade for some random team's top 10 protected or something like that, because I just wouldn't be, you know, trading away a first round pick guaranteed. And I don't really think they're going to be wanting to trade away a top 10 protected of one of their first round picks. So there's going to be, you know, a couple teams out there that I potentially think they could look to try and trade to. You know, again, the Cleveland Cavaliers, I believe, hold Milwaukee Bucks' 2021 top 10 protected first round pick. So that's what I'm kind of talking about here. If they were able to trade for one of those picks, and, you know, it might be potentially Derrick Rose, it may be even just a random player here and there as well. I definitely think that would get the job done for Lonzo Ball and would make sense for both teams. The Pistons now get a young guard who has a lot of potential, and the New Orleans Pelicans can get a older, more veteran guard that can still average 18 points per game. But either way, I still feel like this is a loss for the Pelicans if this was to ever happen. You know, as I was saying, I don't think they should be trading Lonzo Ball at all. I don't really think it makes any sense for them to do it. And I definitely rate, I'd say, Lonzo Ball potentially more high than Derrick Rose, considering Lonzo Ball is still so young and still has a lot to prove in the NBA. Like, he's literally only 22 years of age. Yes, he's turning 23, but that's still incredibly young. And we've seen his improvement. His averages at the end of the season were actually pretty crazy, and the Pelicans were looking like one of the best teams in the league at the time. So if I was the New Orleans Pelicans, I would definitely be trying to keep hold on to Lonzo Ball, and I definitely wouldn't be trading him to the Pistons for really, you know, for really Derrick Rose and maybe a first round pick and something like that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for the latest NBA content and NBA news. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel, MIRL/Long channel. Don't forget to check out my podcast as well if you haven't already. And also, don't forget to comment in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts and opinions on this? Do you guys think the Detroit Pistons should be trading for Lonzo Ball, or do you guys think they should, you know, or do you guys think the Pelicans should be trading him? Again, I definitely would really like to know your thoughts and opinions on it all down below. But as I was saying, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.